Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Monday, wherever we are around the world. The transfer window is set to close in 44 minutes. How are we, chat? It is nearing the end of the transfer window. And yeah, look, we do have some exciting news to talk about and discuss. Again, of course, we're going to discuss about Alexander Isak. Again, we're hoping and praying for the announcement very, very soon. Of course, that will be a different video in itself that we will be back a bit later on. I'm guessing it'll be announced after the window as well, but we will have to wait and see. We're going to discuss Marc Guéhi. We're going to discuss Harvey Elliott. We're going to discuss, of course, other players that have been spoke about as well. Joe Gomez, more importantly, as well on the Liverpool side of things. But I want to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments because, again, look, we're going to talk right off the bat talking about Marc Guéhi because, again, at the moment, that is still up in the air and what's going to happen with Marc Guéhi to Liverpool anyway. But again, let me know how all of you are down in the chat. If you are new around here, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. It's probably going to be a chaotic last 40 minutes of the window, and we're probably going to get an absolute crap ton of news. But like I said, we're going to kickstart the show talking about Marc Guéhi because it is the biggest talking point at the moment for Liverpool because, again, we don't know what's going to happen. Now, we had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, from David Ornstein as well, that a deal had been agreed for Marc Guéhi. That was about 2 hours ago, and he was set to have a medical, which we now know he completed. But about 10-15 minutes ago, we did have this news from David Ornstein, as you guys can see on screen, saying that Marc Guéhi underwent a medical ahead of a proposed transfer to from Crystal Palace to Liverpool, but move in jeopardy in Crystal Palace's issues finding replacement. Talks now between 25-year-old manager Glasner to make final decision on the Liverpool switch. It does go on also to say in the article piece, it does go on to say that Marc Guéhi's proposed transfer to from Crystal Palace to Liverpool is in jeopardy as talks between the centre-back and manager of Oliver Glasner continue to make the final decision. It does go on to say that Guéhi completed at least a part of his medical in London after a fee of £35 million was agreed to take the 25-year-old to Anfield with personal terms, of course, not a problem, with a 5-year contract at Anfield. But difficulties sourcing an adequate replacement have occurred. Glasner's pre-existing options to the sale of his captain, and the outcome is expected to follow decisions between the pair. Glasner has been resolute that Guéhi should not be allowed to leave unless a suitable cover arrives. Palace struck an agreement in principle for JD Corvette to join from Toulouse, but that he has yet to confirm ahead of obviously the deadline at 7 o'clock. And again, we know that Igor Julio, I believe his name is, again, obviously the Brighton defender, has not now gone to Crystal Palace. He reportedly failed his medical. I don't know how true that is at the moment, but supposedly either way, Palace didn't like what they seen. Again, the report suggests that Palace didn't want to go for him, and now he's on his way, I believe, to West Ham now as well. So the whole Marc Guéhi situation is completely up in the air on what happens. Look, at the end of the day, I honestly think Marc Guéhi will still sign for Liverpool. I think we will hear some positive news over the next 40 odd minutes, but still, it's a very worrying time, isn't it? Because if Liverpool don't get Marc Guéhi, yes, we've got we've got Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Giovanni Leone, Ibu Konate. I think everyone had the thought in their idea, more importantly, Marc Guéhi, that he would be joining Liverpool today, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like at the minute. It's up in the air on what will happen, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. But big up Hero as well, saying, what's happening, lads? This window has been stressful, and we have F all say in any of it. Yeah, true. It's been one of the best windows ever on the Liverpool side of things, of course. Big up John as well, saying 21 times. Yeah, well, when Isak signs, yeah, I would 100% agree. I think, that does put a massive, it does massively help Liverpool in trying to win number 21. Anyway, but look, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Marc Guéhi situation, because there's different reports right now around the whole situation. Again, I think Ed Aarons as well, I think who's a Palace writer, said that it shouldn't make no difference. They couldn't complete the signing of Eagle, which then, the talk around the town is, again, Palace want to find a replacement. There's talks that Palace want certain defenders from the Bundesliga. Again, how that's going to happen over the next hour, who knows? But at the end of the day, you've got different reports suggesting that it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's very much up in the air right now on what will happen with Marc Guéhi. I think he'll still join personally. I think there will be some sort of an agreement there, because again, Palace hierarchies know the fact that he will leave next summer. It's not a case of like, oh, maybe he might sign a new contract. Like, I think that it's been well established that Marc Guéhi is going to leave next year if he ends up staying. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But I think as of things right now, I'm still feeling confident that Marc Guéhi will get done for sure. But John says, I'm happy to wait to the winter window to get Guéhi on the cheap as well. I don't think Liverpool are. I think, again, Liverpool want to get him now more than anything. Hero says, seems like it's going to be a winter deal. Well, at the minute, you would assume so, wouldn't you? Because as of things right now, like with Palace, Glasner's been quite honest, hasn't he, about not wanting to replace, not wanting to replace him because, again, in his opinion, there's not been an adequate replacement in the pipeline for Palace, and I think when you look at that, it's like, I think even Marc Guéhi, he hasn't made no fuss about it. I think everybody knows over the last couple of weeks that Marc Guéhi wants to join Liverpool and has been, wanting a move to Liverpool. But he's not made any fuss around it. He's not made a significant, statement in terms of like not playing or anything. He's look at the goal he scored yesterday for Palace. It was amazing. The goal he scored. I think Jean-Philippe Mateta even said he doesn't do that in training, which was quite funny to see, of course. But at the minute, it is just that, isn't it? It's the fact that we're just waiting now at the moment. And well, I'm guessing in the next 10-15 minutes we're going to find out what's going to happen with Marc Guéhi, of course, anyway. But leaving it late seems unprofessional with people that have a lot of money, of course. Yeah, it's true. I think it's one of those ones, isn't it? And it would be very interesting, because the early reports were that, look, Palace had pulled out of the Igor deal, but then there was other reports suggesting that Igor chose West Ham after doing his Palace medical, which, who knows what's going on. But I think it's probably the first one where Palace have looked at him and gone, maybe we don't want to go and proceed ahead at the minute. But Lewis Steele has just come out and said as well, 40 minutes to go, Marc Guéhi deal on and off like a light switch, deal agreed, a medical done in London. Remember, all they need to do is get a deal sheet in by 7 p.m. So again, who knows what's going to happen, of course. But he has said Isak medical and photos are done, a done deal, bar announcement, obviously TikTok as well. And that's from, is Isak official, by the way? Not as yet. I am quickly double checking my phone. Hang on a minute. That's not Liverpool news. That's Donnarumma. Sorry, chat. I've got David Ornstein's notifications on, and yeah, no, that's Donnarumma to City. So good signing for them, to be fair. But as of things now, at the minute, Hero, no, Isak's not official. But he's had medicals done about an hour ago. I think. All the media was told not to go near the Liverpool training ground because he was having his photos done. So yeah, anytime now, really. So yeah, I'm not worried about Isak now. Isak is a Liverpool player. And again, I'm not too worried about that. Anyone got this year's stadium jacket? Looks the part. to me as well. Yeah, I think Ricky was looking at it very much so. So yeah, I think it looks really really good this year on the players as well. But moving away then quickly from Marc Guéhi a little bit, I want to talk about Harvey Elliott. Yeah, Harvey looking like he's going to get his move to Aston Villa. A bit of a surprise, really. I'm not going to lie. I thought when the news broke earlier on, I was like, oh, okay, a loan deal. And then when all the news started to come out about the £35 million obligation again as well, I was like, wow, like I'm really surprised Liverpool have done this. But if I can quickly find Fabrizio's tweet around Harvey, if I can find it, where is it? It is around here somewhere. But again, like the fact that, you know, 35 million for Harvey, chat, what do we think? I think for me, it's a bit, I thought it was a low price, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I thought maybe we might have got that 40 million, 45 million. But at the end of the day, you know, like for footballing reasons, it's the perfect move for Harvey Elliott because, again, he's going to be playing as a 10, I think, potentially, you know, or even on the right-hand side, it may be like in a 3 up top where it's not necessarily going to be like a front 3 like it is currently at Liverpool. It's kind of more of a midfield diamond 3 in that aspect of things. But I think it'll massively benefit him if I'm gonna be honest. But as you guys can see there, it does say breaking: Aston Villa reach verbal agreement with Liverpool to sign Harvey Elliott. Here we go. Agreement in place with Liverpool on loan with obligation to buy. Guaranteed a £35 million package. Medical being arranged, of course. And as of things right now, we don't know whether or not Harvey's passed, but you would guess so. Look, in my opinion, I think it is a bit on the cheap, but in all honesty, I think, look, it's the right move for him. It is the correct move. Look, under Arne Slot, since Slot came in, you know, again, Harvey Elliott had the preseason, broke his ankle, and just never really got back into the team, or never really back into Arne Slot's thought process where, you know, Arne Slot thought that, look, we've got Dom, even at Curtis Jones in the 10, but again, he never really favoured Harvey. And it is a bit of a shame that it hasn't worked out. I would have loved it to have worked out. But look, as of things right now, look, I think Villa will be a really, really good move for him. I really do. And hopefully, you know, potentially with the relationship there with Villa, you know, Liverpool could potentially look at certain Villa players next summer, of course. But look, as of things right now, it's, of course, Liverpool are not going to be going for any Aston Villa players, at least anyway. But hang on a minute, chat. Let me quickly have a look. Yeah, no, it's nothing. What else do we have? John says, so the 18-year-old centre-back, we got, who is he? Giovanni Leone. Again, surely you would have known about that, John. But wish Harvey the best, bit cheap, but he needs games to see his potential. Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, at the end of the day, maybe under a different manager, again, Harvey might be the number one guy, you know, for them. But I think for a team that is on that aspect of it, like when we talk about competing for a Champions League spot, I think he's perfect for that, really. And I do think you'll thrive at Villa. Elliott needs the move. 35 million is fair considering the wage he will demand as well. I don't think you'd be on that much. I'm not gonna lie. But again, I'm not too sure what he's currently on at the moment. But again, as of things right now, you look at it, at Liverpool, he is kind of certainly the last, like, the last 12 months, he certainly kind of like the Endo role, which for a player of his age shouldn't be the case, you know. And again, when I talk about him being like the Wataru Endo, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he is the same quality of Wataru Endo, but what I'm saying is in terms of game time, he would only make 10, 15, minute appearances, if not 5-minute appearances for Liverpool. Look at, for example, like the Newcastle game earlier on the season. When it went 2-2, then we chose to bring on Harvey Elliott, which I think, look, we should have done a lot more last season where, all right, we went on and won the league title. Again, we don't really talk about things like that. But what I mean in terms of making an impact, I think Harvey Elliott is a perfect impact sub to make. There you go. I was checking David Ornstein's watch. I didn't realize I had David Ornstein's. Didn't realize I had the thing on the screen. But in my opinion, anyway, I think, yeah, I do think it's one of these ones, isn't it, where, in my opinion, I think it's a good move for him. I know a couple of people will be like, would have liked to have kept him at Liverpool, but again, we'll have to wait and see see what happens anyway. But big up Martin as well, saying what a day, my friend, as well. Well, what a day it could end up being if Liverpool get Alexander Isak and Marc Guéhi. At the minute, still, if it is just Alexander Isak, again, it's phenomenal, but again, we're all hoping for the same thing, aren't we? For Marc Guéhi. But big up Jen as well, saying, what's going on, guys? My nerves as well. I think everyone's nerves at the minute is up in the air, isn't it? At the moment. But yeah, when we talk about this fella, in terms of Marc Guéhi, we're just hoping and praying at the moment that a deal can get done. But yeah, that's why I'm constantly, sorry guys, if I'm looking down, you can tell I'm looking at my phone to see if there is any news or anything in regards to it anyway. What's going on, guys? Cyrilson as well saying, what's going on with Guehi, guys? So if you guys have not seen the news, so again, we know, if you guys don't know, don't know the timeline, so a couple of hours ago, Liverpool had a deal agreed for Crystal Palace. That was a done deal, £35 million. He was having a medical in London. Of course, Liverpool have London offices. Again, was having his medical in London. But Crystal Palace then tried to sign Igor from Brighton, had his medical, completed his medical, but Crystal Palace reportedly pulled out of the deal. They didn't like what they seen with the medical. And now we've had this report from David Ornstein, as you guys can see on screen, as it does go on to say. But Marc Guéhi underwent a medical ahead of proposed transfer from Crystal Palace to Liverpool, but move is in jeopardy in Crystal Palace issues at finding an adequate replacement. Talks now between 25-year-old and manager. Glasner is going to make the final decision. So, yeah, if it is fully up to Glasner, then Marc Guéhi won't be coming. But as of things right now, it's all hope and dreams at the moment, isn't it? But I think as of things right now, we're just waiting and seeing and hoping that Crystal Palace will change their mind, or Oliver Glasner won't block the move. That's the hopeful dream at the moment, anyway. I'm just double checking if there's no new news in suggesting Glasner or Alexander Isak. Hang on a minute. Have Liverpool just tweeted something? Hang on. Let's have a look. No, they haven't. Sorry, chat. But what else do we have? Oh, bloody hell. Let me quickly scroll back up. But Martin says, today wasn't about winning the Premier League. That's already in the back. These signings are about the Champions League. Yeah, like the thing I find funny as well is the fact that everyone's like, oh, when Salah leaves or when Salah goes to AFCON, we're not worried now because Liverpool are just going to turn into 2018 Real Madrid. I did like that earlier on when everyone was making that conspiracy. Hi, Jen. You're stressful. Will he make it? It's hardly. I heard it's in jeopardy. Yeah. Well, at the minute, it's in jeopardy. We don't know what's happening. As of things right now, we have to wait and see what's going to happen. But United signing a keeper, and DGs might have somebody to keep that now. Well, they've signed. If you've seen highlights of that one, yeah, I don't think he's that good. I'm not gonna lie. if I'm being honest. But look, that's just my opinion. Big up QT as well, saying Phil, if we don't get Mark because he is more needed as well. I think both are needed really. If you look at our bench options, it's not great at the minute, is it? But that's not our fault. Just sign the papers as well. True, but Palace could still get a fee in January, but then again, it'll be about 15-20 million. At the end of the day, this deal is £35 million with 10% sell on, so it works out brilliantly for Palace. But it's in jeopardy. Then let Gomez go to Palace again, unless it's a significant fee. Liverpool don't want to let him go. Again, there's conversations even now with Brighton. There was a report that came out suggesting that Brighton had made a £10 million bid for Gomez. That's not really been proven. As of right now, there's no major journos reporting it, but look, we'll have to wait and see. But as of things right now, it's it's a bit mad. To be fair, who on earth just shared that? Jesus Christ, you can tell how far Liverpool have come when Sky Sports, West Ham are considering an offer from Liverpool for Carlton Cole. Yeah, Jesus, what a time to be alive for that aspect of things anyway. But what else do we have? But QT says, pick up chat. Hey QT, what a season already. I'm getting a lot of hate messages. Ari, our spending from a West Ham fan, Leeds fan, and Man United fan. Like Liverpool have net spent less than Arsenal this summer. You know, at the end of the day, Liverpool pretty much spent 250 plus million for Premier League champions that have just competed in the Champions League and won the Premier League. You know, at the end of the day, Liverpool can spend the money. But yeah, just say that to them. But what else do we have? At the end of the day, it's bollocks from Palace. It's a joke. We just got to wait and see, haven't we? See what happens. But Gomez will not go. Get this out of your heads, guys, as well. At the minute, yeah, I would agree. He's not going to go anywhere. I think he's fully staying at Liverpool, in my opinion. We waited too long. Let's be real. The buzzword this summer was waiting till others get their players. Well, that's what I think. But to be fair, though, QT, I'd say by that we've been respectful enough for them to get their replacements in. You know, Liverpool could have, like, the whole Isak situation. Look, Newcastle finally accepted he was leaving, and then Liverpool came in with a bid. You know, it's not like Liverpool, you know, played games to a certain level where it was like, oh, you know, we're not going to, you know, oh, we're only going to bid once and then walk away from it. Like, no chance. Like, Liverpool were always going to come back again for Isak, but Newcastle had to accept that. Same with Marc Guéhi and Palace. Liverpool told Palace that, look, we want Marc Guéhi, we'll bid £35 million. Again, this bid has been suggested for the last 2 to 3 weeks. So Palace have had time to get a replacement in. And look, Liverpool could right now say to Marc Guéhi, like, look, make an ultimate fuss to move. But we know Marc Guéhi won't do that. But just by his reaction last night, you know, when Dean Henderson tried to push him forward to try and celebrate more, trying to say goodbye to Palace, again, Marc Guéhi didn't want to do that because, again, it's up in the air. We've got 21 minutes left. And look, it could very well still be the case that Marc Guéhi might still be a Palace player. But Dom and Verge have been incredible. Wirtz started slowly as well. I thought he was brilliant second half yesterday, Florian Wirtz. I thought he really stepped up. And like Arne Slot said, when he got cramp, you know, in terms of welcome to the Premier League, in terms of him pressing and so on as well. So, like at the end of the day, he'll start slow. He'll become amazing throughout time as well. But look, him alongside Hugo Ekitike, alongside Alexander Isak, yeah, I'm very confident in Liverpool's future with him in the 10 role as well. But again, Dom, absolutely got to give him credit. Absolutely unbelievable. Hang on a minute, what's this? Glasner's given Palace an ultimatum. line in the sand in his captain staying after losing Eze. However, Palace board do not want to miss out on a fee, and the player will walk for free next summer. Meanwhile, Liverpool's senior staff arrived in London within the last 10 minutes. So that's coming from Chris Williams as well. But both will be announced, don't worry, as well. Isak will get announced. We should, well, I say we should know. Look, we've got, like I said, we've got 19 minutes now until the deadline closes. We should know in the next 10 minutes whether or not the deal's going to happen or not. And look, at the minute, it's very much coming down to the wire. Like, medical's done. Medical's done. The deal is agreed. Liverpool are now just waiting on Palace giving the final green light for it to happen. And again, like we said, Liverpool, all Liverpool need to do is get a deal sheet in before 7 o'clock, or just as 7 o'clock comes up. I think that then would give us another hour to sort things out. But as of things right now, that's all we're waiting for, is that, it is simply that, is Liverpool getting the final green light to, get the deal done as well. But that's my point. Mark is too nice of a guy. We should be putting the pressure ages ago as well. No, that's fair enough. Smash the likes as well, guys. Well, yeah, if you could, there's 22 people in right now. If you are new around here, please do hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well if you are new around here. Like we said, we will be back live a bit later on tonight to talk about Alexander Isak when he does officially sign, of course, because at the minute we are just waiting for the announcement. I'm guessing it's going to be about a little bit after the 7 o'clock deadline, but even still, like, I think there's no worries then, let's say, with Alexander Isak. He will become a Liverpool player. And yeah, I can't wait to see him after the international break in that Liverpool shirt. But we just need a damn Byron who's got a pen. I don't have a pen, but I have a kind of like a screwdriver if you need it. If anyone knows how, like, because I've been trying to fix like a wheel on like, I've got a fan over there that's got like kind of a wheel, trying to fix that at the minute. So yeah, that's why that's on my desk right now. But as the things right now, we're just waiting to, of course, for any bit of news in regards to how I thought that's a deal off then. In terms of Guehi, Isak as well, even in terms of if Joe Gomez is even going, because like I did say to you guys about how there's been reports of a deal being put in place by Brighton to come in a bit late and try and see if that can get over the line. But as for things right now, it's very interesting, because again, there's different reports now coming out saying that Marc Guéhi has reportedly told Oliver Glasner he has his heart set on a move to Anfield. So, at the moment, it's it'd be interesting to see what does happen. But yeah, again, everyone kind of going a bit early with the whole done deal situation. But yeah, again, we're just pretty much frankly waiting to see what does happen over the next 16 minutes. But I want to ask you guys a question in terms of the whole transfer window. If Liverpool do end up signing Marc Guéhi and Alexander Isak, out of all the players that Liverpool have signed this summer, which one would you rank as the best signing of the window? Personally, I would put Florian Wirtz number one. I think that signing is an unbelievable signing still, even though people will go, oh, he's had a poor start to the season. Look, I think at the end of the day, a player gelling into a league, I think he'll become better throughout the season goes on and will be phenomenal by the end of the season. I do think Kirkez as well. I think the Kirkez transfer, I think, is very much underrated. You've seen it yesterday, how good he actually is. And he locked up Madueke from minute one in that game. I thought he was excellent against Arsenal. And for me, I think he's very much an underrated signing. When people have talked about transfers in this window, they've not necessarily spoken about Milos Kerkez. I do think Kerkez is going to be one of those ones at the end of the season that will go in the team of the year, because I think he is at the moment the best left back in the Prem. I think the only other player that can have an argument at the moment is probably Cucurella at Chelsea, but I think Kerkez is better than Cucurella at the moment. But QC says, great season, but Mark is needed. Don't judge Arsenal game because they are just spicy Stoke. Jesus. Szoboszlai, our player of the season so far. Yeah, but agree. Yes and no. I would also say Virgil. I think Virgil's been immense. I thought he was excellent against Newcastle. I thought he was excellent yesterday as well. Again, but yeah, Dom and Virg, I would put at number one as joint shared. I think the two of them have been phenomenal for Liverpool so far. But look, it could easily be one or the other. I wouldn't argue against one or the other. But still, I think even that's a question mark now. Like away from the transfer window. But I think that's even a question now for Liverpool, is because you've ended up getting Dom Szoboszlai at right back, you've got Frimpong, you've got Conor Bradley. Is right back his best position now? Probably. I would say at the minute. But what else do you have? QT, who's Arsenal Adam. I don't know who that is. We have either 10 minutes or 2 hours. 10 minutes to go for Marc Guéhi deal. Is it 2 hours? Hawklord as well. Hopefully you're good as well. I haven't seen you in here for a while. But certain people are saying the deal's going to get done. Hang on a minute. Is that anything? Hang on, Alex Crook. No, that's not new news. Chat. Yeah, just yeah, I just read about it as well. Oh, so it's a 2-hour window then. After I thought it was just an hour after 7 p.m. So again, we will wait and see. We're just waiting for announcements now. We are 12 minutes away from the window being closed, and yeah, at the minute it's just waiting. At the minute, how much time can be added on in the window? I thought it was an hour. Again, if Hawklord's correct that it's over 2 hours, then it could very well possibly be the case. But I thought it was always an hour after it. But again, that was when the window closed at 11 o'clock at night. So F knows now what's going to happen. Ray are blaming the Puma Ball. I seen that and I was like, yeah, you got done by a phenomenal free kick. Like, there's no shame in that, by the way, either. Like we said, there was no goalkeeper in world football that could save that. And for him to say, oh, but it was the ball, and we got to kind of adjust. Like, what a load of absolute shite. That's not a lie about it. It was absolutely terrible. Hang on, in chat. Yeah, Joe Gomez wanted by Brighton. That was reported by James Pearce. But again, nothing in it as of right now. I've seen that he's Arsenal through and through as well. Well, I've seen Arsenal fans after yesterday's game, like freaking, I'll say his name, like Egal, like having an absolute meltdown. That was quite hilarious at times to see last night. Even I think it was one or two other Arsenal fans that had absolute crazy meltdowns as well. Like just people just losing their heads over the game. At the end of the day, look, Arsenal didn't punish Liverpool where Liverpool at times, should have probably been punished. At the end of the day, Arsenal come to Anfield, looked for a draw, to snatch a 1-0 win, and at the end of the day, Liverpool have got players in their team that are natural winners, and will make differences in a game in an instant, and that's what happened, at the end of the day. What else do we have? In the Echo, Liverpool would be given an additional 2 hours. Additional 2 hours to ensure any additions paperwork is completed. That would give them until 9 p.m. on Monday to complete the deals as well. Oh, there we go. Arsenal fans saying Kirkes was crap. He locked down left hand side. Yeah, true. I thought they just completely him and Virgil. I thought did brilliantly against Victor Gyökeres. I thought Victor Gyökeres was non-existent yesterday, in my opinion. I thought he was awful against Kanate, let alone Virgil van Dijk. Arsenal fans are going like, "Oh, wait until Gyökeres plays against Virgil." It's like, yeah, nice one, lads. Bugger off. So yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think Arsenal's biggest problem. Actually, to be fair, I agree with what Jamie Carragher said on commentary. Arsenal's biggest problem is not finishing chances. Arsenal's biggest problem is creating the chances. They looked awful yesterday. They didn't create anything. And even on the set pieces, Liverpool dealt with Arsenal set pieces down to a T. No other teams managed to do that, over recent times. So, look, as of right now, I think it's very, very funny that is the current state of Arsenal anyway. So Miguel Delaney, so just quickly talking about Marc Guéhi. So Miguel Delaney said, with a few minutes left in the window, it's still in the balance whether Marc Guéhi will become a Liverpool player or stay at Crystal Palace. So it is just a waiting game as of right now. But yeah, 8 minutes to go. I don't know if Sky Sports have said anything, if they're talking about Liverpool, but what else do we got? Yeah, just a few other things that again suggesting that Guehi's told Glasner he wants to leave and join Liverpool. But again, the official report is that Marc Guéhi's deal to Liverpool is in jeopardy, and that's from David Ornstein. But again, we are just waiting to see at the minute what's going to happen. We are going to stay live until a bit after the deadline because I want to again know the same as you guys what's going to happen. Anyway, as far as we know, again we're just waiting in the wings at the minute to see what happens. But it's not David Ornstein. No, it's not. But in other news as well, not just talking about Liverpool, Manchester United, of course, they've just signed that keeper, but they've let Antony go for 22 million euros, which is, mental. But yeah, just talking quickly about Guehi. So Vinny O'Connor has just said that the Igor deal has absolutely no effect on Marc Guéhi deal being completed, but it could go very much to the wire. Will be interesting to see whether Liverpool put the paperwork in time for before the window closes. So yeah, it'll be very interesting over the next couple of minutes anyway. But as of right now, there's nothing else really being said or done because again, Ian Doyle, less than 10 minutes left the window. But yeah, the obvious one is we're waiting for Alexander Isak as well, waiting to see what happens with him because again, we've had no word off of him either. Their manager's a prat, says QT as well. Well, the reported rumor was earlier on today that because they didn't necessarily replace Eze, he's fuming because they haven't replaced Eze. Again, if they let Marc Guéhi go, then they've not replaced him, and the fact that they have European football as well, I think Glasner's kind of under the impression they cannot compete for both, or at least they cannot fight at the top end of the league in terms of top 10 and also compete in the Europa League. And I think with obviously Bayer Leverkusen sacking Ten Hag, there was a few rumours today suggesting that Glasner could go to Bayer Leverkusen, which, to be fair, would be a very, very good job for him. But yeah, I think potentially over the next, next summer? I think his contract runs out at Palace. I think we could end up seeing Glasner maybe leave Palace over the next couple of years. But again, he's already won them a cup and done amazing things for them, haven't he? Really. But reported at Anfield on Sky Sports said he's been told from two sources from Palace that will not stop the Guehi transfer from happening, but who knows at this point as well. Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. Just give them Gomez on loan for a year, win-win as well. Again, I don't think it's necessarily the fact that Liverpool don't want to do it. I think it's more Joe Gomez because, look, the AC Milan deal, again, he would be out of the country, certainly playing as well for a team that, again, AC Milan's quality. Look, AC Milan have not been good over the last season and a half, but again, top European League, top team, ton of history. When we talk about potentially World Cup squad, again, Joe Gomez would have probably been looking at it and going, oh, well, maybe if I can get a move now, then who knows what will happen. Like the whole Marc Guéhi situation as well, where there was talk around game time and so on. Look, I personally think Marc Guéhi will get so much time at Liverpool. I think there could even be possibly the argument of him starting against Burnley, after the international break. But as of things right now, it's a big question mark on what's going to happen. But again, we'd have to wait and see as well. But hang on, I'm going to chat because we are, 3 minutes away from the window closing. Yeah, right. There's some people saying that the deal sheet has been put in for Marc Guéhi. But again, I don't know whether or not that's true or not because it's not coming from people I really trust. But just give them Gomez. Mark walks into the England team. Yeah, I think he's the starting centre back, isn't he? I don't think he's definitely not in contention of like a place. He is the number one centre back for England. I think it's more the question of who plays alongside Marc Guéhi because I think the previous Euros, I think everyone's seen in that time period that he was the best defender for England and proved that. He proved that very well in the Euros. And with the World Cup coming up, he is in the squad. Absolutely. But and it's live. Hello, Luke. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for everyone for spending the last few minutes of the summer transfer window here as well. Yeah, very much appreciated. As always, there are 21 people in right now. If you're new around here, do hit that like button and hit the subscribe button anyway. But yeah, I think this window, if both get done, if Isak signs and Marc Guéhi does sign, I've said it on here. It's a 10 out of 10 window for Liverpool. It absolutely is, and I will remain with that. It is 100% a 10 out of 10 window. If Isak signs and Guehi doesn't, what is it then? An 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, somewhere around there. But still, getting Isak in, Ekatike, Frimpong, Kirkes. Who else? Mamadashvili, Giovanni Leoni. Like again, like the list continues for Liverpool anyway. But we do have what is it? Like 20 seconds left of the window, like left. But yeah, to be fair, let me know your guys' thoughts as well on terms of rating the window for Liverpool. What would you give it? Hang on a minute. How have Liverpool put the deal sheet in? Yeah, so it has been submitted. Right, there we go. Yeah, you guys have said over there. Seems like the deal sheet has been submitted. Thank you, Luke, as well. The deal sheet's been put in. Yeah, so Mark, not Mark. Mike McGrith, again, apologies if I butcher anyone's names. He has said deal sheet set to be submitted for Marc Guéhi, moved from Crystal Palace to Liverpool, but the deal is in the balance. Medical completed. Player and the Premier League champions want him to happen, but out of their hands at the moment. So, again, it's going to be a 2-hour situation with Marc Guéhi now. Hopefully, we will hear the news of Alexander Isak being officially a Liverpool player very soon. But yeah, it's all in the balance at the minute. But before 7 p.m., seamlessly a deal for Marc Guéhi's gone in. Yeah, absolutely. Ever been to Swansea? I love the place. I've only been once, and yeah, it's okay. Cycled up to their stadium the other weekend as well. I think the Swansea beaches are quite nice. I think keep us updated as well. Well, to be fair, I'm going to leave it there for now because, again, like I said, the window is closed. If there is any more in regards to Isak, like I said, we will be back live whenever Isak is getting announced. Yeah, so Palace have just announced the signing of that French centre-back, but of course it has no meaning to Liverpool. No meaning to Guehi, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, as of right now, we are just waiting to hear now the confirmations for both. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. Again, we will be back live at some point tonight. Look, as soon as Isak gets announced, we'll probably be back live for that. But yeah, as of things right now, of course, we are waiting and just hoping the deal gets announced for both Marc Guéhi and Alexander Isak. And yeah, of course, we do have to wait and see on what happens for that deal for both deals, of course. Anyway, but look, obviously, thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Deadline Day show. Again, apologies, it was a bit short. But again, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this summer transfer window. Look, it's a bit boring now after today because, again, it's an international break. We don't get to talk about transfers now, of course. But again, we have to wait a whole week for the football. But still, we will have to, of course, wait and see. It's 7:03. Connor, hello, Ozan. Did Guehi fall apart? Not just yet. The deal sheet is in, but it is still in Crystal Palace's hands at the minute. What's going to happen? So, look, we will have to wait and see. Again, reportedly, Liverpool have 2 hours to sort of deal out. So hopefully we can get it all done. And hopefully be back in an hour or two talking about Isak and Marc Guéhi becoming Liverpool players. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys a bit later on with hopefully some more good news. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. We'll see you guys a bit later on. Ta-ra.